Guys, I want to go over and talk about more on the little horn and Daniel's timeline. Some of you have seen the video. It's titled The Great Tribulation Starts September 22nd, 2017. Proof from Daniel's timeline. I'm going to go over that again, guys, and I even have more information to support that. You know, I always ask the Lord for other, scriptures and different things to confirm it. We always want to confirm everything by two witnesses. And you'll notice that in all my, videos, all my messages, everything has multiple witnesses. And this is an important one because, we're basically saying Daniel's timeline gives us the exact dates of when critical events will happen. When is the daily sacrifice taken away? When is the abomination that makes desolate? And when is the Great Tribulation? So we're going to go over that in this piece, guys. And if you watch the other video, we talked about the little horn. We talked about him being the Assyrian, and then the 7 shepherds. We went over that, and so I thought I would actually continue on him and talk about what he's also done. Now, just to recap, in Daniel chapter 8, we have this little horn. So you have 4 notable ones, and out of them comes this little horn. The word in Aramaic and in Hebrew is feminine for little, and that's what Obama is. And it grew great even to the host of heaven. This is Daniel 8:10, and cast down some of the hosts. Now, guys, in Nahum chapter 3, it says, you magnified the merchants above the stars of heaven. So that is TPP, okay? That's TPP. That's the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and it's got other names too, but that's happened. So Obama is the little horn, and aspects of this prophecy have already been fulfilled. And cast them to the stars to the ground and stamped on them. So we want to continue watching the little horn, watch what he does. But the other critical thing for you to understand is the other videos, and this is going to be in this playlist, the little horn. But I encourage you to go back. We go over the symbolism of the Baphomet statue. And the Baphomet statue was displayed in Detroit. It was, and even in this here, Gabriel calls it the shaggy goat. And shaggy in Hebrew is satire, which is a demon. It's a fawn. It's a goat. And so they set up a goat on a throne, and that fulfilled casting down the host. Okay, but he's going to do other things. You can see clearly. He stamped in the ground. He magnified himself to the prince of the host. So he's not the Antichrist. He's magnifying himself as to be the Antichrist. But by him, the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of the sanctuary was cast down. So he is going to take away the daily sacrifice, and something regarding this sanctuary will also take place. And a host was given to him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression. So he's going to get an army and cast down to the truth the ground and practice and prospered. Now, this is the part I didn't get into in the last video. We're going to talk about in this one. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said to a certain which spoke, how long, and now we have 4 questions, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice, number 1, and the transgression that makes desolate, or the abomination that makes desolation, and to give the sanctuary. That's number 3, to give the sanctuary. And number 4, the host trodden underfoot. Now, guys, this is a riddle because there are 4 questions, and from 4 questions he said unto me, unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. So you have 1 answer for 4 questions. It's a riddle. Now, we all are told from the daily sacrifice to the abomination that makes desolate. This is Daniel chapter 12. it's 1,290 days, okay? So it tells us that specifically. So I've charted this out. We've done it before, but let's take a look again, guys. All right, so again, we have our 4 questions. How long will the vision concerning the daily sacrifice? So when is the daily sacrifice? Well, what we do is we answer these 4 questions in sequential order. All right? So the one answer we got from the 4 questions is this. Unto 2,300 days, then the sanctuary is cleansed. Okay? Now the sanctuary cleansed is in preparation for something. All right? So the daily sacrifice is done in preparation for something. All right? Now what you do is you, from 2,520 days, that's the last 7 years, subtract 2,300 to the daily sacrifice. So here we have it. So you start from the end. So we're starting from the end, and there's 2,520 days. That's 1,260 times 2. That's 7 prophetic years. So you start from the end, and you work your way back 2,300 days. And then that answers question number 1. This is the point by which the daily sacrifice is taken. Okay? Now question number 2. How long shall the transgression or abomination that makes desolate? So then what you do is from day 220, the daily sacrifice, you add 1,290 days. So what you do is this point here, from here, is you reach this point with 2,300 days. Now you work back. And you work back 1,290 days. Now you answer question number 2. So this now is the abomination that makes desolate. Okay? And then the third question is to give the sanctuary or cleanse the sanctuary. And then what you do is you go from here, and it's also 2,300 days. And so the temple cleansed now is the same thing as the abomination that makes desolate. These are now one and the same. And then what you do is you work your way back. Okay? And then you come to this point. Now this point, you can see, is 2,300 days. And so that happens twice. So what happens is the sanctuary cleansed happens multiple times, okay? And also the host trodden underfoot happens twice. This happens twice. The last day of the 7 years, so it happens here. The host is trod. This is when the Antichrist is defeated towards the end. And the sanctuary cleansed at the abomination that makes desolate. So you go here, 2,300 days. Now, abomination, desolation, you also work here, 2,300 days. Now what happens is this point, when it begins, now you have a timeline that calculates, that precedes the start. Okay? So now you have this space here is 790 days. That's why I keep talking about 790 days. All right? And the host is trodden. So now the host is trodden twice. It happens here, and it happens here. It happens at the end. Now, there are 2 people, okay? That's the other thing important for you to understand, is that the abomination that makes desolate here is the Antichrist. The host trodden is the little horn. There are 2 people. And this happens twice, okay? So the little horn casts down the host, the stars, to the ground and trampled them, okay? And he magnifies himself. This is Obama. Now, the display by which he did this was the Baphomet statue. So that happened on the 9th of Av. And so this point right here is the 9th of Av, 2015. The Baphomet statue in Detroit. That triggers this whole thing. So now we know all the dates of when this will happen. This then proves that the Great Tribulation is September 22nd, 2017. In the Gregorian calendar, the daily sacrifice is April 30th, 2018. And I don't have it here, but then the abomination that makes desolate, you can see, happens later. All right. Now, this is new information I wanted to share with you guys. When I was studying Ezra and Nehemiah books, you'll see that Ezra and Nehemiah also give information on time, but they do it through a census of people. Remember before we were talking about number, weigh, divide. So another way that you number is by people. So in Ezra 8, it says, these are the number of the people in Artaxerxes' reign that came out of Babylon. Okay? Now you'll see that the first person mentioned is Daniel. So what we do is, if you don't count Daniel, you'll see that he is the title, because Daniel this is his timeline. This whole thing is his timeline. But guys, when you count the people, you'll see that there are 14 individuals listed and 1,496 men. That added up is 1,510. That is exactly the number of days from the beginning of the tribulation to the abomination that makes desolate. It's not on here, but this point right here to here is 1,510 days. Just like the number of people. So the days from the Day of Atonement to the abomination that makes desolate. Then it lists these people called Nethinims. And they are also days. There are 220 of them. That is exactly the number of days from the start of the tribulation to the daily sacrifice. Exactly 220 days. Okay? Again, Atonement 2017 to the daily sacrifice. So, right within Ezra chapter 8, these individuals are days. Okay? So it's 1,510. That's from the beginning to right here. And then it's 220. That's from the beginning to right here. So that confirms, and it's the first person mentioned is Daniel. So it's Daniel's timeline. Guys, this is the work of a scribe. You see things that are coded in Scripture that, are people, but then the next thing you realize is that once you know the numbers, then you realize that the numbers aren't people, the numbers are days. So in this example, they're days, and this confirms Daniel's timeline. So that's why I speak with such confidence about when these things will take place, the start of the tribulation, when the daily sacrifice will be taken, and the abomination that makes desolate. Okay? So there we have it, guys. I'm trying to make this as clear and easy for you to understand. This I have scanned. I don't know. I might have to put this in a note in the description field to outline the Ezra 8. This is new information from the handout, but I'll put it in the description field. Make sure you have that. You can always check my work. You can always check these things for yourself. Okay? All right, so guys, that concludes it, and we'll have some more soon. God bless you.